So praying out loud versus praying in your head, in your secret chamber. Well, the Father knows what you're praying for before you even do it. It's like I keep going back to this art museum footage, and with my life, there's no question about it. To me, there's absolute no question about it. It's not even a question of, is it true? Could that possibly be? No, it really absolutely had happened already. And I've discovered time like I've never comprehended how time is. I've even had a dream the other day about somebody was, I don't know, just somebody was trying to do something, or there's always like somebody trying to attack me in some way or another. This time around, I discovered a way to catch the person and then handcuff them with somehow, and then the second time around, when I seen it all over again, I already knew what he was going to do before he did it, because I just experienced doing that for the first time. And then the dream basically repeats itself, but this time around, I'm like, I'm like Jacob Israel towards me, where when he was doing that little lead me around in the live, doing his live stream with the art gallery, and I'm down there at the William Penn building, and I'm being led, and I don't even know where I'm going, but I knew that was a tap in X-Zap moment. I'm recording live, so whatever I show is gonna line up with something. No, I don't even know where I'm going, but I just know that I seen the colors. At the very beginning, he had the countdown, and then I'm like, all right, well, here we go. So I had the faith that something impossible, doesn't even make sense, is getting ready to happen. So I walk around, and I did the video for, well, I don't know, like 25 minutes maybe straight, and that's the whole point, just letting it run through. I found a bed of nails in the inside of where the City Hall William Penn building is, in the center court, and then I go scooting down to the Black Rock, that cafe, Capico Street or whatever, and then I go there and I see that Moses figure standing on a rock with the hidden hand. And then Jacob, he shows his hand at that exact moment, and I'm like, interesting. I guess I'm at the right place, huh? But it's not just that I'm at the right place. It's like I was encouraged to go somewhere because of what he was saying. I'm thinking, all right, go down the road to make a left up here, a couple blocks. I'm thinking, that sounds like the where the Moses figure is. Let me head down there. Sure enough, I get there, and yeah, I didn't thoroughly go over that video with Jacob, and then that was also in the same timeline. The day before I went into the art museum on 3/22/2023, I tapped in live with Jacob again, but that was the first time I did it. And then the next day was the art museum footage. So that's what I did in the dream, but it was towards someone that was trying to attack me, because I'm just used to being attacked. It's just the way it is. The Gang Stalking Corporation is everywhere, every time, all everywhere. It's never ending. They're always going to do tactics just to be there and say hello, and But I felt at that moment that I had already seen the dream, and I already knew what he was going to do, and so I was able to prepare and be there before he gets where he needs to go. And that's exactly what this thing is that keeps happening to me. Happened again just last night, and Steve Benu knows exactly what it was, as he was in the beginning of the video talking about praying to the Heavenly Father in secret in your chamber. And of course that also has a different meaning from what I've thought it was before. I mean, I've always it's not just that it's one thing either. It can be multiple things that line up together. So one of them, the main one, is when you don't okay, fine. If you want to go in your closet and you want to shut the door and you want to pray in secret in your head to the Father without saying a word, you can do that too. It's not that it's wrong. But the other meaning of that is your secret chamber, your mind, you're in your head. You're not speaking out loud so the devil can hear you, because that praying out loud is when the devil can hear you. But at the same time, praying out loud, another meaning that I discovered is push the record button and pray out loud. Talk, ask, seek for answers, and just, guidance and timelines and things like that, and who's who and what's what, and things are confusing, and can you help me out with this? And because other people get involved with that, even if they're trying to lead me astray, I don't, whatever, I'm gonna learn anyway. So that's another way of praying out loud, opposed to actually praying out loud. Like, I haven't heard Skip say it in a while, but I have heard him say it in the past. When he's done, he would say, everybody bow your head, close your eyes, bow your head. I don't hear him saying that anymore. I don't hear Paul Tiller saying that. He says, let's stand together. Because I don't, again, you can do what you want, but I'm not about bowing my head and closing my eyes, praying to God. It's not. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't sound right. But when you're by yourself, it's different when people tell you to do that, because it's like a command, and it just doesn't seem like it's the right thing to do. But Kim Jean still does it. Bow your head, close. Everybody bow your head and close your eyes. And so, and then Jonathan Clegg is the only one that prays with his eyes open when he does prayers to the Heavenly Father. And it's unusual because I've never seen anybody do it, but it shows that he's understanding what part of that praying out loud thing is you're keeping your eyes open. Because when people are up there saying bow your head, close your eyes, are they really closing their eyes when they're praying, or are they reading slightly with their eyes open a little bit? Or do they have earpieces? And so what does it, really matter? But and then the other praying in secret chamber to the Heavenly Father is not even saying anything, or no, you're saying everything that you want to say out loud, or you're doing, or the actions, whatever your actions are, communicating with someone through a video where I'm not recording anything, but yet I'm watching somebody, and whoever it is that I'm watching is talking directly to me at that moment with what I'm doing at that exact time. So last night, and the reason why I will say what it was with Stephen Noon is because I want him to understand that what I experienced was, I believe, exactly what it is that you're talking about. Because it doesn't line up like that, and then over and over and over again, and then it's repeating itself. Because Steve Bannon was showing something that looked like notes in last night's video. I mean, somewhere around the end of the video, I suppose. And I was listening to, just listening to what he's saying, and I have the keyboard in front of me, the piano keyboard. So I'm just, for the first time, I played something I never played before, because I widened my fingers. Instead of doing the 5, maybe 6, having the thumb do the 2 left and keeping the 4 fingers just tapping each key right there, not moving it, I winded up stretching it about over 8 notes. Yeah, it was about 8 notes, because I stretched my pinky to take care of 3 extra notes to the right hand side, or the other 2 extra notes, and then my thumb was doing the well, let's see, it's 4, and then the thumb 5, and then 2, 6, and then 7, 8. Yeah, so it was about an 8 note tune that I'm playing. Just, I'm getting I'm almost starting to get the feel of it. And then what Steve was talking about in his video, he kept going over the same thing, and then it's like, I got to get to the portion where I'll show it at some point. That way you can at least see it. As I'm playing the keyboard, playing those 8 notes, that he had up on the screen something that maybe there was 6 or 8 different symbols. And as I was going and repeating, when you find a tune, the way to remember it is to repeat it. So you do like 8 little taps of the keyboard, and then you repeat that one more time, and then you move it up one more notch, and then repeat that. That way you can get the feel of it, and then go back and repeat that and do that again, and line that up and cross that over. And every time I nailed it, I'm typing it in with my right hand. I feel like Steve Bannon is literally leading like an orchestrator, orchestrating the notes, the musical notes, as I'm playing it for the first time in my life. And I don't even remember. No, I'm sure maybe I'll figure it out again, because it'll sound familiar and feel familiar. But it's something I never played before, and it sounded a lot better, because I use different, instead of the same old, you know, do 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 do. It was a variety of sounds that was, I was constantly nailing it and hitting it and repeating it and doing it again and again. As you know, you know how you have like the orchestra up there, and I forget what the guy's name is, the one that is an orchestrator, the one that, you know, puts his hand up and does the thing and makes you point over there and tell you to stop that and do that. And that was me just watching a video. Yeah, I wanted to record it but I just figured, you know what? This is a moment that was meant just for me at that exact time, and I am playing the tune that Steve Ben-Nun is orchestrating. So that's what I felt like that was. And to me, it was another way of prayer, because prayer is something that, it's a communication to God, where whatever it is that I'm doing is being communicated to the Heavenly Father. And whoever He uses, He could use Himself, or He can use a vessel through Steve Ben-Nun just to relay another message. And so I received it last night clearly, because it hit me. It hit me pretty hard when I realized what was going on. These things have a way of breaking me emotionally, because I can't believe what's happening here. It's such a unusual thing, but it's becoming routine, and not only that, but expected. It's like praying with expectation. If I really want to, I can play anybody's video and go XApp it at a certain specific spot, and they already knew what I was gonna do. So the video that I'm gonna watch, they had already made sure it was set up for when I go and do what I'm gonna do. It's already gonna be there and line up, and that's exactly what the art museum footage is. And it does not make any sense to the regular person's mind, because it would have never made, if someone tried to explain that to me and I didn't experience it, or somebody on YouTube or nobody on YouTube ever showed what I showed with the art museum footage, with solid concrete evidence that, yeah, this is a very unusual thing that's going on here. Can't explain it, but absolutely, that is your footage, Robin. All those YouTube songs that you're showing with your footage, as they recorded theirs 30 plus years ago, I'm walking in the art museum playing their song with the random shuffle on the XApp, so I can show you what I'm looking at in the art museum while I have a soundtrack playing with YouTube in the background. And then I go home and take each, blow it up side by side, compare it. I take the video that they had already recorded before cell phones even existed. I show you their footage side by side with my footage that I was recording on 3/23/2023. I made sure I played their exact video of the exact song that I was playing on that specific day between 3:30 and 4:01. I played 8 different songs of U2. 4 of them had videos, 4 of them were songs. And when I went back to watch the videos that they have, but I was only playing their song, it was just the album cover, when I synced it in where I was walking at a specific time, whatever song that I show you, the video on the right hand side of YouTube, is the exact same song that I was playing while I was walking in the art museum live, and all of the imagery was lining up because all the colors bleed into one, and that's exactly what U2, Bono, believes in. Kingdom come, where all colors bleed into one. It was the most miraculous day I've ever experienced in my life. And then from that point on, I don't remember crying at all, except for when I heard that Tina died and Rita died. I got a little emotional about that. Even if it was just a script and, it's just different characters. Well, I didn't think of it that way back then. I think of it that way now. But, I mean, it doesn't stop, and it's so overwhelming and honoring. But sometimes it's kind of frustrating and then I got to be patient, because it's like, why am I still living this life of going back and forth to work? And how come where's my compensation for, you took my footage video, Bono. And so I just got to be patient and realize that, look, they decided to use me to show everybody to use music to worship God. I'm using rock music. I'm using the Scorpions band with The Shadow in Forbidden Drive Park. I'm using Who's Gonna Ride My Wild Horses. Then I'm going to Wildwood, and then I'm using Jacob Israel and Jonathan Clegg at the same time. I meet them down at Maurice Piers around 3 exactly, when Will Smith shows up with spaghetti. Get in the boat. All those things, Morning Star, Greenway, Christopher Boardwalk. Meeting both of you there on the 75th year anniversary of Nation Israel becoming a nation again, May 14th, 2023. And and so on and so forth, and it's just never ending. But the only slight frustration that still rears its ugly head is the fact that I'm still working for a living, and it's just tiring. I'm just tired. I'm worn out. I did all this work, even though God did everything. All I had to do was just push the record button. So U2 did a tremendous, all the orchestrating and getting the video to the imagery to line up with my footage, and all I had to do was just push record and walk for a half hour. That's it. That's all I did. But I also went and decided to go to the right place at the right exact time to literally travel through it. I literally traveled through time on that day, and I used parables of something that was unknown, which is me, to something that is very well known, which is U2, the band, and I used their footage to an identical match with my imagery at the same exact time, so I can get people to turn back to God and worship God, because God is the one that orchestrated it. I just pushed the record button, but my mind figured out where to go and what to do without ever being told really where to specifically directly go and what to do. I heard it through the Spirit where to go and what to do and how to do, and push record and line it up and look at this and go back home and put it side by side. And what made me think of that, like, wait a minute, I think the eyes, in the I Will Follow video at the very end, once I seen that, I'm like, wow, that was crazy. I got to go back and look at that again. And then I decided to even look at the videos of U2, the album cover when I was playing it, to line it up with that too. So all these thoughts trickle in my mind to go and rewind the video and do it again another time, one more time, to travel through this existence of whatever the hell it is that I'm in. So now, because of that experience 10 months ago, it changed my entire perspective of everything. I know now that my life has already been played. It's already been... It's either there's other worlds, other Earths. Everybody is exactly the same. We're all the same. We're doing the same exact thing at the same exact second throughout our entire lives. And when you travel through those different Earths, and let's say Robin, there's an Earth that's 5 years ago. So Robin's, he's 2 years in on YouTube right now. He's still getting attacked. Stephen James is attacking him now. And so it's the same thing as before. And it's like my dream where if I was able to leave this Earth and go back to where Stephen James is without him knowing, then I can tell him about things that he's going to do before he does it in that Earth and surprise him and show him, I already know what your life is, buddy. I'm going to tell you what you're going to say before you say it, as you're saying it. Before you say it in the video, for the first time, I'm going to tell you what you're going to say word for word. Or you're going to be in a live stream and I'm going to tell you word for word. I'm going to basically read your script 5 seconds before you say anything, just to show you that I have traveled to another Earth. And that's the only way that it makes more sense, where if this isn't an actual Matrix and my life truly has not been played out on this Earth through this vessel who I am now, but I'm also other people in the future. I've already finished my job. I'm already resting. I'm living the life that I have dreamt of, and because my work followed me. But in the Earth, 7 years ago, I'm getting ready to start YouTube in 2 more months, in 3 more months, less than 3 more months. I'm getting ready in the Earth that is 7 years ago. I'm just getting ready to start hopping into YouTube for the first time. Can you imagine if I can go back to myself, and then I would probably troll myself to get me to relax, because my future 14 years from there, the Earth that's 7 years from now, when I'm in that Earth, I can go back 14 years to young Robin and try to, help him learn things quicker. That way he can stop suffering and tormenting himself. And then lead him to the art museum, lead him there, make sure he goes there. But Jonathan Kleck's the one that did that, so I figured it was his building, his artwork, the building with the wind blades, and I need to go in there. I don't know why. I've never been there before, but all right, fine, I'll do it. And then I went back again and played footage, also the footage I played when I went the first time. And then I'm walking around, and all of a sudden the same thing's happening again with my other footage that's lining up with my live footage walking through the hallway. It's like, yikes! So, this is just a record. I say these things for the people that know what I'm going through, and to tell you my assessment on things. It's not about convincing anybody of anything. That demon doesn't travel through my spirit anymore. I don't have to convince anybody of anything. This is just a record. It's a journal. It's public. This is what happened. Here's what I learned. Here's how I see it now. So last night was a moment where I was praying to the Heavenly Father in spirit, without recording anything and without even saying what it was, because the Heavenly Father knows. And that was the demonstration that Steve Manoon was trying to show me last night. And then there's praying in your head with your eyes open, just thinking, asking for something to God. And then you can go in the closet if you want. You can just lay down and close your eyes, go into your secret chamber, start praying, and then eventually you'll fall asleep and go and dream your dreamland.